Good morning, welcome to another Tool Tuesday. Today we're going to talk about drill bits. So it's a little chilly in here this morning. I do have the heat on, but I'm not going to be out here all day, so I'm not going to get it toasty warm. But anyway, let's just take a minute and talk about different drill bits you can use for different projects. There's several choices out there to choose from, and we did a video about drills and different way of drilling holes. So the first one I'm going to start out with is this type of drill bit right here. And I'm not sure what it's called, but it's one that I couldn't find the other day when I was showing you this type of a drill and drilling in. This is the style you would use. It's got kind of a tapered square head that fits into the top of this. So the way this is designed, it's got a tapered square head, like I said. It slides in there, and then there's some teeth in there that'll grab it once it's lined up, and it's secure, and then you would use it to drill your hole. So some people have taken these bits, and if they have to cut big holes, and they've actually cut this off, because you really, again, just don't use these really that much anymore. I think I have a couple that are cut off, but most of them I don't, just because I keep them because they're kind of antique or whatever. And there has been occasions where I have used them. But they have the number on the side here of the size, and you can get them in multiple sizes, up pretty darn big and pretty small as well. So these are great for, you know, drilling holes. It's a little bit more work. They do have the self-feeding screw on the end there that helps pull it into the wood. If you keep them sharp, they do a pretty good job. So that's an option, and that's pretty much, you know, years ago they used stuff like that all the time. A much more better system would be just a drill bit set like this. And if you haven't figured out by now, I am a DeWalt fan. I have quite a few DeWalt things. This is my newest set. It just, you know, goes from really tiny, from 1/16 up to 1/2 inch. So handy for your everyday run-of-the-mill drilling of holes of multiple sizes, as long as it's within this range. If you go bigger than this, then you got to move on to something a little bigger, of course. But I use this all the time. I had another set that was smaller than this that I would break bits off once in a while, and I'd replace them. But eventually, I just said it's time to buy a new set. I still have that one floating around here somewhere, but this is my new go-to for the basic hole sizes. But what if you really start to need to drill bigger holes? Well, you get bigger bits, like I said, and you can do that. Like this. You start to run into another problem. These are wood bits. They got the point on the end here. You can't have the shafts stay the same size all the way, because your drill guns and your drill presses and things like that are not, most of them are not equipped to take a shaft this size. So they have to taper it down so it fit your drill gun. But there's still a limitation. Smaller drill guns are not going to take this size here. And of course, you start drilling something like this, you gotta, you're drilling a pretty big hole. And I think I got a video of something I drilled with this one here. So they do have their use, they have their purpose. But there is an easier way for drilling holes of this size, and that would be moving on to a butterfly bit, something like this. Again, shaft is nice and small, they're lightweight, you can put a lot of them in the toolbox, they don't take up a lot of space and not nearly as heavy as these are, and yet you can still accomplish the same size hole because you have this big wide butterfly end on here. And that's what, why they're called that. So they just, they have the point, and they drill the holes like any other drill. And there's multiple kinds. Now both of them have kind of like a octagon end here. This one here has the quick release style that can snap into my drill gun, so I can just snap it in and go. I don't have to tighten it up depending on what you're using, and there's different styles you can buy. But this is a great option if you're starting to try to drill bigger holes. And these can be used for anything really. And again, they're lightweight, so you can carry a lot with you. There is another way of drilling bigger holes, and it's a set that I bought just a while back, maybe a year or so ago, and I love them, and they're called Forstner bits. And these are fantastic for drilling very precise or pretty precise holes that are nice and round. and they look like this here. And I'll pull one out here. I'll pull out the biggest one so you can kind of really get a good idea of what I'm talking about. So that's what it looks like right there. And I'll take pictures of each of these and put them at the end of this video, close-up pictures. So again, you got a fairly small shaft, but now you have the capability of cutting a really large hole. Again, pretty lightweight because you know you're not carrying all this extra meat around, this metal. And they do a really nice job cutting round holes. I use these primarily in the drill press because you can just get nice round clean holes. They have teeth all around the edge here that cut the outer part of it so it goes down smooth. You have this blade here that, you know, takes your chips out and gets them out of the way on both sides. So these are a great drill for drilling larger holes. And they get down pretty small too. So this set here is 1/4 inch up to 2 1/8. So here's a small one here. You can probably barely see. And in this case, the shaft that goes into the drill is much larger. This is a Porter cable set. I like it a lot. I use it a lot. And it's a great way of drilling larger holes for the most part and getting nice clean cuts. So that's a kind of a variety. There are other drill bits out there. There are some that are metal bits, which these here are metal bits. These are specifically for wood. You would not use these on metal because of the way the tip's made on them. They're designed just for wood. They would not last. If you tried to cut metal with them, you just ruin them. Same with these. These here are for wood only, not metal. So keep that in mind. And of course, the Forstner bits are for wood only. And this is wood only. So the only metal bits I have right here that I'm showing today is this set right here, the DeWalt set. This can be used for metal or wood. So one thing that I would point out on bits like this particular style, it does have a kind of a cutting edge here around this that helps clean the hole and get this, you know, the debris out of the way. So it's, you know, some bits don't have that. They just got the scoop as it goes around. But this particular set has a cutting edge here. It really cuts that hole nice and clean, keeps it clean, and gets the debris out of the way. So this is just a quick look at drill bits. There are far more choices to choose from. This is just a few that I have and give you an idea. Everyday, regular, run-of-the-mill holes, I would go with something like this for sure. Most homeowners could get by with something like this for doing, you know, multiple tasks around the house or garage or wood shop, or even, you know, on your car or something like that if you have to drill a hole. If you start to get into bigger holes, or if you're running wires in your house and things like that, these are fantastic for just running through studs. They don't make necessarily a very clean cut, but you don't care about that. This is a great way to go. These, well, I don't use these too often. They're just so heavy and bulky, but occasionally I do use them. And then if you're getting into project that you want to look good, and you got to put some holes in them and stuff like that, wood project, the Forstner bits are the way to go. So anyway, thanks for swinging by Shane's Main Shop. I'm going to put a picture of each of these at the end of this video. Please like, subscribe, and comment. There'll also be videos at the end on each side here that you can choose to watch as well if you like this. That might or might not be related to something you're interested in. And then of course in the bottom corner down here, please click the channel icon so you can subscribe. Thanks for swinging by Shane's Main Shop, and as always, have a great day.